Tasha Gage. Welcome back. Happy December 1st. Happy all the season, all the things. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited for the holidays this year. It's not like we have anything big planned, any trips as of yet. We are considering towards the end of December, but I don't know. I feel really, I'm going into the season with positivity and I'm so excited for it. And I'm very excited for December daily this year. If you guys haven't seen, and I'll be sure to link that for you up above, I have prepped several things in my album, and that is normally not my style. And I really have loved just thinking about things in advance, making some of those selections so it'll be easier when I go to work on that story for that day. I wouldn't say Allie has fully converted me to foundation pages yet, but I'm moving in that direction. So what I'm going to be working on here is my story 1 and doing a couple things for my front page. So you may have seen I was starting out my album with this transparency, and it says, "And to all a good night." This text, "And to all a good night," came from a 4x6 journal card, and I ended up taking that text and replacing what was here beforehand on this transparency, the digital version. And it said, I think I have it back here, "All things merry and right." Printed this out on my laser printer and ran that through the Mink machine. It's not perfect. Has a little bit of like black spots on it, but I'm completely okay with that. So I did go ahead and already reprint this photo, and I know you guys have seen this, and I shared behind the scenes on Instagram. It's a photo of myself, Henry, and my husband on our bed with some Christmas PJs on. So that's going to be the opening. For the back side of that, I'm using a photo of the 3 of us. This was in our bedroom. I took this during Week in the Life, so this is going to go on the back. This just is opening, explaining a little bit about us, some of what I hope for the season. So it's kind of like my reason why, a couple of things that are part of what I really want to focus on this December is being open to joy, being open to gratitude, being open to paying attention, slowing down, having fun, anything that might come up for the season. And along with that is being present. Spoiler alert, for 2023, my one little word, I am considering the word present or presence. So kind of thinking, that wants to be something I kind of want to tie into my December daily. And in years past, part of, say, my reason why for my December daily usually has something to do with what the word I'm thinking about for my one word for the following year. So I'm going to start here. I apologize for such a messy desktop. I've been working on several other projects, and there's paint everywhere. That's how I roll. I'm okay with getting this one super dirty. Just using my rolling adhesive, I'm going to adhere these back to back. I printed these photos out at home on my Epson XP 15000. Let's see. This is on glossy paper. Now, sometimes because of these photos, I like to lay something on the back, especially knowing my desktop is super dirty. And then even rather than rubbing my hands all over them, I just grab like another piece of paper. I know they will get dirty from being touched and being in the album, but it's just one thing I personally like to do. I'm pulling over my 6-hole punch. The brand of this is Work Lion. This is my favorite one personally because it has a guide. And I found when I used other ones, I could never get it was always crooked. I went through so many photos and no matter what, it was always incorrect. So just lining that up, adding the holes. And so we'll tuck that into the album over here. So then we're going to be working on my story 1. Set this back off to the side. And I already have one thing prepped here. This is a pattern paper. I believe it's from either the main kit or the add-on. I will link what is available below, and if it's not available physically, I will be sure to link it digitally. So I adhered already then a canvas pouch, or excuse me, canvas pocket. This is part of last year's collection add-on, and I had a couple of these left over. So my plan is to adhere this number 1 down. I don't think I want to add any stitching to this little, I'm also going to use, sorry, this canvas word phrase. It says this magical season. I don't think I want to stitch that. I'm thinking I might just add some adhesive in the center. I could run a stitch through it, but I kind of just like it on its own. Then what is going to be tucked in here, I have a few things already done. This is a quote card that came part of the marketing, a promo material in the story kits, I believe. This came somewhere, let's see when this was dated. This might have come with the August release or the August shipment, but I tucked this to the side knowing I wanted to use it. So on the back side, I'm going to cover that up with a photo of my husband and myself. This is from a wedding this summer. I loved the moment. It's just hysterical. And then the story I am specifically telling for today, it's my voice and my husband's voice. I went ahead, created these journal cards, says my hopes for you this December on both of them. So I wrote a letter to Ben and Ben wrote a letter to me. I love that it brings in his handwriting and his voice, also my handwriting. That makes me so happy. So part of what I'm going to do, I'm going to adhere these, and then I will also going to trim down. I pulled over one of the pattern papers. This has stars with gold foiled outlines, and I'm going to adhere this, trim these down to also 4x6 and adhere them on the back, just so they're not so blank, and it'll give it a little bit of structure. Oh, I am going to put you guys a little bit on fast forward while I do this, and a little bit of music, then I will come back, show you the finished result, and I'll even read with you my words for this.
So jumping in here, the first thing I'm going to get started with is trimming down this repeat star pattern paper. Just trying to figure out how I want to cut it so that way I can use up or have a lot more of my scraps left so I don't waste it. I trimmed those down to 4x6 and just adding some of my rolling adhesive on the back side. And then I'm going to adhere that journal card. Those journal cards I did print out on Epson Premium Matte or Premium Matte presentation paper, I believe is what it's called. And of course, because it's not a perfect 4x6, there does involve some trimming. That's part of the beauty of homemade, right? So adding another one here, just that way both sides will have a little bit of something and it gives it a little bit more sturdiness because the presentation paper is not the strongest. So next I am adhering the photo down, and that is to the back side of that marketing card or quote card, whichever you want to call it, and trimming off the excess. Again, that happens anytime in these projects like this. Next, I'm grabbing over a ruler and measuring the center, so looking for 3 inches. In hindsight, when I went to punch these holes, and I am using the We Are Memory Keepers Power Punch, I probably should have formatted the text or that title, just shifted that down just a little bit because the holes are punched pretty close to the top. Adding in some cream ribbon. I got this a few years ago. I believe it was from Target. It might have been part of the sugar paper collection, but that's just some little bit of ivory off-white ribbon, just tucking that in there, cleaning up the edges and using fabric shears for that. Grabbing over then my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher and crisscrossing staples. The last thing I need to do here is adhere that felt number 1 in that canvas strip. So I'm just going to grab over some score tape. I'm not sure where my red line tape is at the moment, but the score tape works just fine in keeping these types of embellishments intact. So just adding that off, adding that on, and then peeling off the backing for that. And then that's going to be a wrap for this project.
So that is wrapping up my story 1 here. So again, just to recap, using a pattern paper, adhered a canvas pocket that is from last year's collection, and tucked in pretty much just journal cards and then one photo with it. Added a black felt #1 using score tape, and then a canvas word phrase that says "this magical season." Also punched the holes using the We Are Memories Keepers Power Punch and crisscross some staples. And then when you pull it out, you can flip it as well. So I'll read you a little bit of what I wrote for Ben, and then what Ben wrote to me. This December, I hope you take time to be present and unwind. This December, I hope you can find joy and help create magic with our little family. This December, I hope we get the answers we've been waiting for and that it brings you peace. This December, I hope you will cuddle with me and watch all the Christmas movies. This December, I hope you can have fun and make time for play. Love you, love your wife. So just a little bit of what I'm hoping for Ben, and then this is his letter to me. My hopes for you this holiday season is to truly get in the mood in the holidays despite all the challenges we're facing, and that includes the weather. Being able to watch all the movies, bake all the treats, and do all the traditions. I truly hope you can finally realize Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I think that's hysterical. We debate about Die Hard. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below if you guys are a Die Hard fan, believe it's a Christmas movie, or you are not. You know, one thing I just want to point out here is, you know, this is lighthearted, but he also gives a nod, as do I, as to some of the things that we are currently going through. You know, I've shared a little bit on Instagram before, or recently, that we are having a lot of hurdles or unforeseen setbacks with our fertility journey. And, you know, even what I wrote to him, we're waiting for a few more answers, which hopefully we'll get a little bit more tomorrow at our doctor's appointment. You know, the weather, it being, you know, mid 60s, and we're both missing that snow. You know, so also dealing with some of the issues that are going on currently with my mother. So I like that it, you know, I personally know, Ben personally knows, just giving that little bit of nod to the things that are going on, but not necessarily diving into the full story, you know. And I'm someone who believes in writing the hard things and telling the hard stories, but we don't always have to, right? We can just do a little nod to it. So that's a wrap for story 1. I'm not sure if I'll be doing a process video for every single story or day, but we'll kind of see how this season evolves. So I will do my best to create several and be sharing them here on YouTube. If you have any questions, again, be sure to let me know below. And until next time, guys, please enjoy your December.